I just wanted to show you this really quickly. Again, as I look through the camera, where the rain is falling from beneath the base of the supercell, it looks very blue. It is not, in reality, going to be looking that way. As you can see, it's becoming a little more stylized as the painting progresses. But I think it's coming okay. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. No, I always do the opposite of what I want. All right. I'm going to go upstairs and sit outside with this camera in front of me, and I'm going to blither on briefly about let's see, thought and emotion, I think it is, or rather emotion and thought. I'm not going to do this on my balcony. It's several thousand degrees out today, and I'm not interested in subjecting myself to that. So I'll do it in here. I wrote some things down, and I'm just going to talk off the cuff, because otherwise it's just a bunch of pedantic blah blah blah. So thought and emotion were the other two things I was going to talk about. Thought's obvious, when you're a kid, your parents tell you, what, stop, think about what you're doing. And it happens as life goes on as well. That's the same with a painting. It's so important for me to, I find a brushstroke or a color or something, I begin to apply it, and I have to remind myself, okay, stop. Is that enough? It's so often good to walk away from your painting. Seriously, go outside for a minute, or go fill up your coffee, or whatever you're going to do. Just for a minute, come back and look at it with fresh eyes. And you might at that point say, well, that's enough. If I keep going, I'm going to kill it. That which was special about what I just did will die if I continue. So it's the thought process, same as, the knowledge that you have now with your different materials and tools. Be patient with yourself. Think about what you're doing while you're doing them. Don't rush into an area. Some areas of a painting, you can just sort of be a little quicker with, but with my style and technique, I have to be very thoughtful about, for the most part, each brush stroke is very important, or each knife stroke. Okay, emotion. Emotion's kind of funny because it's all the way through the process. I think emotion is what drives a person to want to recreate a scene. You need to think about that which excites you about that scene. You have to say to yourself, okay, what is it? Try to identify it. Is it the light in the distance? Is it the fact that it's a sunset? Is it movement of trees? Is it certain shape of strata and rocks? Is it a reflection from land to water? Is it wind-whipped water? Try to identify that, because that's the essence of the painting. The scene is the scene. You can come up with a scene, a reasonable composition. With some experience, you'll be able to do that successfully. But to imbue that scene with emotion that the viewer of the final painting can also enjoy and share with you, takes a lot of thinking, takes a lot of self-control, and of course, as I said before, knowledge. So emotion is what gets me going anyway. Sometimes it's a silhouette. It's usually, in my case, it's nature. I'm a landscape artist. It's what I love. With me also, I like my paintings to be reasonably colorful. Usually I begin wanting them to be more colorful than they end up. That's what gets me going and drives me throughout the painting. The hope that somebody else who sees the painting once it's done recognizes it and makes a comment to the effect that would be similar to what my intention was to begin with. You know, they might say, "Look at how those trees move. It's almost like a wave through them. They almost dance." If that's what I was hoping to achieve to begin with, I've succeeded. As far as communication is concerned, the painting still might turn out very well, which is a bonus. But you know, visual art is a language, just like anything, like music, like verbal communication. So if you want to communicate with your viewer and you want to identify and you want them to identify with you, you kind of have to speak a common language a little bit. So so the emotion part of it, that's what puts the salt on the potatoes. That's the gravy with the roast beef. You know? That's the finishing touch. You know? Cherry on the ice cream sundae. You get emotion in there, and you can go from a successful painting to a really fantastic painting. Well, I guess that's about it. I'm not going to get into this. It's got a ways to go, as you can see. I won't bother you any longer. See you later.